to holdthemsg.com. We have another new lesson for you this week. Just remember that the lessons build on each other. So if this is your first week joining us, make sure you go back to Lesson 1, Greetings, to begin. This week we're going to learn something exciting. What we're going to learn this week will unlock all kinds of vocabulary for you in Mandarin Chinese. What we're going to learn is numbers. In Mandarin, the word for numbers is shuzi. I promised that numbers would unlock all kinds of vocabulary for you in Mandarin. Here are some of the things you can learn once you know what numbers mean. You can learn, of course, how to count. You can learn how much something costs. You can learn the days of the week, the months of the year. And what's even more exciting is that once we learn how to count from 1 through 10, you'll know everything you need to count all the way to 99. That's how easy counting in Mandarin is. We'll also be learning a very important phrase in Mandarin. That phrase is, how old are you? This is the first question a child is likely to be asked when they meet a stranger. The reason for this question being so important is because in Chinese culture, your age or your age in comparison with others is really important. In your own family, if you have an older brother or an older sister, you wouldn't simply call them sister or brother. You wouldn't say, this is my sister. You would say, this is my older sister. This is my younger sister. This is my older brother, or this is my younger brother. Everyone needs to know how old everyone else is in comparison to themselves. And it wouldn't just be restricted to your immediate family. If you were a Chinese child and you were walking down the street and met a family that you knew, also walking down the street towards you, you would be encouraged by the adults to greet your friend. And you would have to greet that friend according to whether they were older than you or younger than you. You would call them older sister, older brother, or younger brother, even if they're not a member of your immediate family. Another special thing about age in Chinese culture is that when a child is born, the parents actually count them as 1 year old already. So they actually count the time the baby is alive inside the mother. Our children answer this question several times a day. Whenever we meet someone new, the first question is,
你几岁了?
If you visited China, you would need to know how to answer and ask this question too. First of all, let's learn to count. We're going to listen to Bao-en, Rong-en, and Qing-an counting. The first time through, you're going to see the Chinese characters underneath. I want you to concentrate on the Chinese characters and how easy they are to draw, especially 1 through 3.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Now we're going to watch them count again. This time, instead of Chinese characters, you'll see pinyin. Pinyin, as we mentioned in one of our other lessons, is the special way that we write Chinese words so that we can understand how to pronounce them. On top of the letters in each pinyin word, you will see a tone mark, either a first tone, a second tone, a third tone, or a fourth tone. And those tones will give you indication as to how your voice is supposed to rise or fall in the word. For example, if you hear a fourth tone, you're going to use a downward sound, just like you would at the end of an English sentence.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
We're going to watch one more time. This time, try to count along with them.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10.
Something fun we can add here. When we count in English, we use 2 hands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But when you count in Chinese, Chinese people have developed a way of counting just on 1 hand. We'll show you.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
This can be really handy because, as you may have noticed, the sound for the number 4 and the number 10 are quite similar in Mandarin. So if you have difficulty understanding someone, you can use the hand signals to make sure your message is clear. You'll actually see someone doing that in one of the videos today. You'll also notice that in the video, there is the character sh for 10. There's also a second way of making that hand signal that reflects more the way the character is actually written in Chinese, and that's sh. So you'll see a lady in the video say sh. Another fun fact about numbers in Chinese culture is that they can be lucky or unlucky. So the number s, 4, can have an unlucky sound because it sounds very much like the word for death. So a lot of people avoid that number, for example, in phone numbers or for the number of their apartment. Also, the number ba for 8 is a lucky number because it sounds like the word for prosperity or wealth. So you'll often hear radio ads with phone numbers that have many 8s in them. Now let's learn how to ask the question, how old are you?
你几岁了？
你几岁了？你几岁了？小朋友，你几岁啦？
小朋友，你几岁了？几岁了？
Let's take it apart. Ni is the first character. We've already learned this word in other lessons. Do you remember what it means? That's right. It means you. The second word is ji. This means how many. Remember this word because it can be very useful in a lot of sentences. The next word is sui. Remember this word too because we're going to use it when we answer the question, how old are you? The last character is le. Le can be a little complicated in Mandarin Chinese, so we're going to just put it on hold and you can just remember it as part of this phrase, 你几岁了? Now we're going to learn how to answer this question. Do you remember the word that means I, me, or my in Mandarin Chinese? We learned it in our second lesson. The word is 我. To answer the question, how old are you, we're going to start with the same word, 我. Then we have to insert our age. I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but my daughter Zhongen will tell you her age.
8岁。
So in order to insert your age, you're going to have to remember those numbers. Do you remember them? We'll listen again.
1、2、3、4、5、6、7、8、9、10。
So you'll say 我, and then the number of your age, and then the word 岁. 我, 岁.
你几岁了？5岁了。你几岁了？
8岁。
你8岁了。小朋友，你几岁啦？
我7岁。
7岁了。7岁。
10岁。
10岁。
小朋友，你几岁了？5岁。哦，这么可爱啊！
几岁了
6岁。
你几岁了？
绿的小乌龟。
Ah, but what if you're more than 10 years old, you might ask? How do you answer then? Well, this is one of the ways where Chinese is actually much more logical than English. So a lot of homeschool math curriculums have actually begun to use the way that Chinese numbers are said in order to teach the math concepts. We're going to show you just how they work now. So I have with me my math blocks from Math UC. We're going to use these just a little bit to explain how math in Chinese works. In Math UC, you're encouraged to say 1T1 to say 11. Chinese is very similar to this. So we would say in English 10, 1, and in Chinese 11, 12, 13, and so on. For 20, we would say 20, because there are two tens. 20, 21, 22, 23, and so on. So now, if someone asks you, 你几岁了? You'll know what to say. Let's listen again and practice one more time.
你几岁了
5岁。
？5岁了。你几岁了？
8岁。
你8岁了。小朋友，你几岁啦？
我7岁。
7岁了。7岁。
10岁。
10岁。几岁了
6岁。
So, how old are you? 你几岁了? Thanks for joining us. Until next week.
再见。
show you what I mean? Hey, you're recording.